Welcome to Loving Me Before I Love You with Tammy Nicole, the podcast dedicated to you loving and putting yourself first. Others have come first in your life for years, and you know it's time for that to change. You're about to be empowered to set healthy boundaries, confidently have hard conversations, unapologetically put yourself first, and live the peaceful life you deserve. Remember, self-love is essential, and loving yourself sets the stage for every other love in your life. So get ready to embrace self-love like never before with your host, Coach Tammy Nicole.
Hey, it is Transformation Tuesday over at Loving Me Before I Love You. And as we would do during any and every week, loving yourself is always the most important. And I know a lot of you guys think it's not. But if you don't love you, how do you love others? If you don't understand who you are, where you come from, what you enjoy, what you don't like, how do you tell other people those things? When you meet a person and they say, "Tell me about yourself," you start telling all these other little things that are what I consider surface level. You never get to the nitty gritty until time has passed. Why? Because we're so afraid of letting people in. Well, we're going to stop being afraid because life is too short to be walking around scared. Life is too short to be sitting around with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas on certain relationships, be it romantic, platonic, family. Just learning to be you and being okay with being you is essential. So guess what? Today, we're going to talk about the permission to be you unapologetically. We are not going to sugarcoat. We are not going to tiptoe, and we are not going to hide behind our facades anymore. Now, y'all know I don't do podcasts by myself that often. So guess what? That means I'm not doing it by myself today. I do have a guest with me. Her name is Miss Melissa Morehead and she is here to tell her story. And when she learned that having permission to be herself was essential to her living the life she wanted to live. So we're going to talk to Melissa and we're going to see when she got permission to be herself unapologetically. Welcome to the show, Melissa. Welcome to Loving Me.
Thank you so much, Coach Tammy. Thank you. It's so good to be here.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Look, you made me feel so at home. I've got my little comfy pillow right here and I'm just leaning in.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we don't talk about being ourselves that often, right? We talk about being in relationship. We talk about loving and knowing people. We don't really talk about when you get permission to be you unapologetic. So I want you, before answering this question, I do want you to tell the people who you are, give them your little, bio, what you got. How do we get here? How do we get here to a point of saying, you know what? I got a story that resonates with me gaining permission.
Yes.
To be me unapologetically.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you so much, even just for the opportunity to be in the space with you, right? But everyone, hello. As Coach Tammy said, I am Melissa Morehead Moore. I am a coach. I empower women to dismantle the lies of fear that have been holding them back from being their best selves. But before I was a coach, I was Melissa, a young lady who I didn't know where I fit in, right? Because I've always been different. I've always showed up different. And that was very hard. But I'm a mother, a grandmother, a sister, your best friend on your mama's side, your first cousin on your daddy's side. I am just a person who loves to make people smile and to know that they do have a purpose. And so that might not be the bio that, people are used to hearing about, right? But I think sometimes we get so caught up on our accolades, which is a blessing. And I'm so grateful to God for that. But I had to work hard to do the work on me in order to get to that, right? The accolades came easy. Education came easy. Job, all those things came easy. But working on me, girl, sis, that was the hard part.
Always hard.
Always.
Always. And it's hard because we don't like to face the things we don't like.
That part.
Right. So when you talk about looking in the mirror and seeing things that you don't like about yourself, it is very difficult to admit it. It's like, man, am I really that girl?
Yes.
And then you have to say, yeah, that's you.
Yes.
And what you going to do about it?
That part.
That's you. And what are you going to do about it?
Yes.
When was your turning point? When did you come to a place of like, you know what? Though that work is hard, I got to do it.
Yeah. And it's probably an answer that we all hear when you ask somebody a question. I would say during the pandemic, when the world was just shut down, I was working from home like everyone else. But I knew God had an assignment for me and I was ignoring it. I'm like, I'm not. No, no, and no. So during that time, I retired from working as a federal government employee. And I started working for myself, and that was scary. It was scary in the sense of I was leaving comfortable. Though I was not fulfilled anymore, I was leaving comfortable. I was leaving that every 2 weeks comfortable, right? Benefits, health insurance, all those things to step out in the deep end. And when I did that, Coach Tammy, that's when I found out I was I'll say this, I was doing the work before I left and didn't realize I was doing the work when I left.
Yes, that quiet preparation.
Yes. Yeah. And so that unfamiliar territory of what does this look like for me? And so I had to do a lot of deep diving, some uncomfortable work on myself, sitting with myself, right? Who wants to sit with themselves? And it wasn't about sitting with myself in a dark room, windows are closed, the light is off. I had to do that inner healing of this and this in order to get to where I'm at today. That doesn't mean I've arrived. I'm still doing the work, but guess what? I now choose to do the work unapologetically, right? Without
That word
nobody
is hard to
forcing me.
heart.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think heart work and mind work is always the most difficult work to do.
Absolutely. It is.
Because we have been conditioned for so long to be in a certain spot and place that when you go to do it, it's like surgery with no anesthesia.
Yes. Absolutely. It truly is. And you don't even know, and I don't mean to cut you off, Tammy, but even hearing you say that and using that analogy, you don't even know what your recovery time looks like.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Because you did the surgery without having an x-ray.
Yes.
So there's no CT scan, there's no MRI, there's nothing that you going into this surgery blind. You just know you're going to cut the heart open from top to bottom and explore what's inside.
Yes.
And when you go to exploring, it's like being in an exploratory surgery. When they are not knowing what's in there, they just know something's in there that has to come out.
Yes, absolutely.
And so
I love this analogy.
And you go and explore and you start seeing things like abandonments and you see things like hardened hearts. Like, oh my goodness, this little area over here is so hard. I'm taking a drill to it versus the knife,
Absolutely.
And it's learning who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So definitely the hard part.
Definitely.
And when we think about you said the recovery time, that's like, recovery seems to always be easier than the surgery. When you talk about heart work.
Yes.
General surgery, you typically, the recovery time is like the worst part. It's like, oh my God, you got to actually feel the pain. You got to act because you were under anesthesia.
Yes.
But when you're doing it without anesthesia and you feeling that pain on each cut, each pull, each, rearrange.
Yes.
It's that recovery side is a little different. It's a lot more tolerable.
Yeah.
Because I would dare to say that you're on a continuous recovery after surgery.
Absolutely.
So in other words, the space and stage that you're in now is still recovery from that initial surgery.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't go away because you're continuing on the journey. Healing is not a destination. It is a journey.
It's a journey.
And that journey is the recovery.
That part. And we have to remember that. We have to remember that. We're eventually going to make it to that journey, to the destination, but it's the journey that you got to take. So sometimes it's the going the long way to a short stop, but you have to get there. There are just some stops that we just can't have a shortcut to, right? As much as I love to travel, I live in a big city, but a regional, a little small metropolitan city. And so we have a small airport. So
Hmm.
there are some places that I can't get to with a direct flight from
No,
where
you
I am.
always have to do a pit
Always
stop.
have to take a layover and
Yeah,
another airline to get to my destination. So that is the journey.
absolutely. So when you say, and what we say in general, permission to be you unapologetically, a lot of times we are always apologizing for who we are.
Yes.
When did you stop saying sorry? When did you stop apologizing and start just simply being?
When I got tired of saying I'm sorry, it was exhausting. It was exhausting. And I think a lot of times, and thank you so much for that question, because I think a lot of times, Coach Tammy, we equate with showing up unapologetically to what's on the outside. You know, of course, I am an African American woman, a woman of color, a Black woman that enters in a room. Like, this is long for me because I haven't cut it in a while. And so I normally show up in all the spaces that I'm in as a bald headed Black woman with big hoop earrings, an ear pierced up here. And I'm who I am. And I'm unapologetic for that because too far often I hid behind the mask of what society said I had to show up as. And I
Yes.
choose to, my mother always told me I was a different child growing up. I was just peculiar. I was different. It's kind of the oddball out. But I realized that looking back, that was preparing me for this now, right? And so I show up the whole shebang inside and out. A very real and honest person. And sometimes honesty is not accepted and it's not welcoming. But we say we want the truth. It's not coming from a place of manipulation. It's not coming from a place of scolding, but it's coming from here. Why? Because I've done the work. And I wish in my younger years that that there were things as we see now, right? Coaches, podcasts, all these things that we are taking advantage of, or we should be taking advantage of, but we don't, right? Because we get in our way of healing, we get in our way of growth. So I would say, when I got tired of saying I'm sorry, or maybe there were times I didn't say I was sorry, but I showed up and you could feel that, yeah, she's just here just because. She's not even her full self, contributing to ... knowing I had the full potential to, but I just didn't want to for fear of whatever.
I was just about to say, many people struggle with guilt or fear when they start showing up as themselves, right?
Absolutely.
How did you navigate that phase? Because when you think about it, most of us are made to feel guilty for simply wanting to have whatever choice we want to have of our own. You know, you choose, and I can think of something super simple. You choose to not go to a family function
Mm-hmm.
because you just don't want to be there.
Yes.
And everybody's going to make you feel guilty. Well, you need to support so and so. They always support you, and you need to do blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
because they always do this. And it's almost like you won't even let me love you out of the love that I have. You want me to love you out of obligation. And
Obligation.
that level of love to me ain't love.
Mm-mm.
Because
It's
if I got to love you by force versus by choice, you ain't getting the love you really could be getting.
absolutely. Absolutely. That is so good. That default love, right? Because it's a default relationship. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So, how do you navigate that space of fear and guilt when trying to just simply be you?
You know what? I do not even entertain the question, nor do I give an answer.
Mm.
And that was hard. And especially when it came to default relationships, i.e., family. Why aren't you there? Because I don't want to be. You getting smart? No, I don't want to be there. I'm tired. I can't have a day off. I can't set boundaries. I can't just have a day where I want to kick up my feet and watch Lifetime all day from sun up to sundown.
And you can.
And I can.
And you
But when I
can.
realized that I could, that's when it became a problem for the ones knowing that I should.
Well, when we become our authentic self
Mhm.
unapologetically, it actually causes everybody else around us to
To
have a
be
problem.
uncomfortable. Yes, not to cut you off, Tammy. That is true. From everyone, from next door neighbor to family. And that's not a shade on anyone, right? And so I realized that when that happens, that means that we're growing, that we are doing the work.
Yep. And
So
you're
it
going in
looks
the right
different.
direction
Yes,
because they want to keep you shrink to
yes,
size
yes.
to adjust and to adhere to what's
Mhm.
comfortable for them. So
Absolutely.
when you move outside of that box that they
Yes.
placed you in, it's
Yes.
like, who you think you are? And it's like,
Who is this person?
oh,
Yes.
you see me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Keep watching, is
Yeah,
what I like to say.
absolutely. That
No,
is
I don't
so
think I'm
true.
better than you, but keep watching
Keep
because
watching.
clearly what I'm doing is on the right track.
Mhm.
Because if I was doing something contrary, you wouldn't say a word. If I was going down a way that I was going to still need you, you wouldn't say a word. But if you see that I'm able to elevate and take myself to another level, that's when you are having an issue.
Tammy, I think we lost connection. We lost connection.
It's okay. We're still here. So ultimately, becoming your best self and becoming who you are supposed to be. It's the becoming, right? I always feel like everything is the becoming. And when
Absolutely.
you get permission, then everybody's going to say, oh, no, she didn't ask that question. Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. Yes.
Our title of our episode is Permission to Be You Unapologetically. Where do you get your permission from?
Wow. That's a good question. I would say two places. My prayer life, because I truly believe in a Heavenly Father. I truly believe that He gives me the permission to be who He's created me to be. So I can't apologize for what He has created. And if you don't understand who I am, and I tell people, you got to take that up with Him. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I just so happen to be in the right place, right? In the right time for Him to bless me with who I am. So definitely praying to God, having that time with Him, seeking Him on a daily basis of asking, who am I? What do you desire of me today? What do I need to do today? And then the second part is walking in it because he will give you the instructions that you need if you pay attention to what He's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not that audible voice, right? Sometimes it could just be the stillness of something. It can be a bird that went past like it's the little small details that we have to pay attention to because I think we miss it because we're waiting on this big thing to happen. When He clearly tells us just be still and know that I'm God.
He does. He says it all the time. But I
Yeah,
love that you said that your permission comes from Him because to me, that's the only permission I needed,
that part.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
I do think that I give myself permission after He's
Mhm.
given me permission, and it's really the permission to move,
Mhm.
right? Like
Mhm.
His permission is the ultimate one.
Yes.
And it's like, I created you. You are fearfully and wonderfully
Mhm.
made, period, based upon what I did, period. So
Yeah.
everything concerning you within you, it is good,
Yes.
period. There's
Absolutely.
no mishaps, there are no mistakes, there's no malfunction. It is good.
Yes. Yeah. And as the
It
kids
is
say, right?
clock it. And then on top of all of that, the understanding that it's good and the understanding that He gave me permission to be me then turns around and gives myself permission to be me
Yes.
without apology.
Without apologizing.
And so you have to be able to
Yes.
give yourself the permission to walk in it.
Hmm. Absolutely. And if I can add to that, Tammy, without apologizing and explaining, because we also feel like we have to explain. I don't have to explain anything.
There's no explanation. It's a
None.
period.
That period dot. And I think even because there was a question that you asked earlier, and I meant to really say this part too. And I even think culturally, right? As Black women, it is hard for us to show up in other areas and other spaces, whether it's with a room of other Black women or just being the Black person in the room, period. I should not have to apologize um, for my language, right? My enunciation of words. I should not have to apologize how I show up.
Hmm.
Just because
Absolutely.
you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that I am. Because this is who I am. It's always been inside of me, but I at one point in time chose not to do the work, chose not to allow it to come out until I was tired. So yeah.
And, you mentioned being in a room with other Black women. Sometimes even in those spaces, we find ourselves shrinking because we measure ourselves
Yes. Bye.
against our
Yeah.
counterparts and
Mhm.
we are looking at them and we're
Yeah.
picking out the things that we wish we had versus embracing who we are
Yes.
without apology.
That part.
So being able to be you is not just at home or in the workplace, it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like how you feel. I used to tell clients, if you want to do something super, super radical when it comes to learning who you are, go get dressed and don't think about it.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
Bless you. Go get dressed and don't think about it. And everybody asks the question, what do you mean by get dressed and don't think about it? So a lot of us go into a closet and we think about what we want to put on based upon where we're going, who's going to be there, who you want to impress, who you care. Like you're thinking about the whole nine.
Yes. Yeah.
What you're not thinking about is how you feel,
Mm-hmm.
how you want to show up, what
Yes.
energy are you expressing.
Mm-hmm.
None of that comes to mind.
Yes.
So the radicalness is to go to the closet and simply pick out what you see that resonates with you in the moment and just wear it.
Yes.
I
And
don't
that's
care
it.
if it matches. I don't care if it's season ready.
Yeah.
Just wear it.
Yeah. We don't care if
Go
it's white pants after Labor Day, right?
that part. Go to the store, walk around the store,
Yeah.
and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to take your journal and you're going to write down how you felt.
Yeah.
What did you notice? Did people look at you weird? And did you care? What about what you wore said something about who you are?
Wow, today's episode is a good one. I know you're enjoying it, and we'll get back to it shortly. Just wanted to take a quick break to let you know that Tammy would love for you to share any questions, comments, or topic ideas you have with her. All you have to do is send them to her in an email to podcast@IamTammyNicole.com. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get back into today's show.
And I was going to say, because we worry so much about what other people think of us. I can be a raggedy, hot mess on the inside. But honey, if I'm dressed from head to toe, matching or not, oh, she must have it all put together. But you had no clue the tears that I cried the night before.
Or the
way
morning
I
of.
feel, or 15 minutes before I even
Right.
got out of the car to go into the store. You don't even know that if I'm in that store, this is my last dime until ... So it's that we have truly allowed society to dictate how we show up in every area, every section, every crevice, every crack of our life. And so it has to be exhausting. I was tired, right? And I decided to take my power back. But I had to do the work in order to take the power back.
Exactly. I did a post not too long ago on people pleasing.
Oh, gosh.
And in the post, I basically said that people pleasing that we have been taught is about pleasing other people, right? And it's typically about doing what they want us to do. When in reality, what it really is us assuming the things that they want us to do and then doing it based upon what we think they want us to do.
Exactly.
So you have created yourself a space of trying to please someone who technically don't even care. They don't care what you do or how you do it. You're not doing it for them, even though you're telling yourself that you are. So in reality, you abandoned yourself and then you taught them how to do it.
Exactly.
So people pleasing is abandonment, but we think it's all about the other person. I mean, well, my mama didn't get to be a cheerleader. And so, she always said, cheerleading is so much fun and you should, try it. You would be so cute in it. But she never told you to do it.
Exactly.
She just said you would be cute in it. She likes it. And then you say, well, she would love me more if I did it. So I do it.
Yeah. And we've all done it, right? Look
But
at me.
it
Look
is
at me. I'm here.
Correct. Wanting to be chosen.
Yes. Yeah.
But nobody chooses you because you don't choose you.
Yourself. That's right.
I literally I did the post on that too, because we want relationships so bad. You go to school as a young kid, you get on the playground or you go to PE and the PE coach says, all right, I need 2 team captains. Everybody wants to be chosen. They don't want to be the last chosen. They want to be chosen in the beginning. Period. Choose me.
Yeah.
And when you don't get chosen, you feel inadequate. You feel worthless. You feel unneeded. Like they don't need me. They don't want me. And you have internalized that to be a thing about who you are versus looking at it that everybody has to get chosen at some point.
And can I say, Tammy, not cutting you off, literally, even in that sense, because I remember being in gym class, right? And it was kickball or softball or whatever we were playing. And I would always get picked last. But we have placed so much emphasis on the placement of being picked,
girl,
that we don't
the
realize
fact that
that
being
we have
picked,
been
period.
picked.
Yep.
Whether it's 100 kids and Sally Sue is lined up number 1 in the line and Melissa is lined up number 100, I still am going to be picked. I just don't know when. But it's the placement that we get so caught up on. I want to be first. I want to be in the top 10. I want to be in the top 20. And unfortunately, even now that we're on numbers, right? Social media has been, oh gosh, likes,
how many likes you got,
girl,
how many followers you got. And you can have no followers and still make impact.
Yes.
It's about your impact. It's not, so to be chosen, you will be chosen.
Yes.
The position doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
And just because you come before me don't mean you are. Just because you're in front of me doesn't mean you come before me.
Yes. That is so true. That is so true. It's like I had to go on a day trip with some individuals. And so it was about an hour and a half away. And so it was getting dark. And so I chose not to drive my own car and carpooled with the other person. They told me where to meet them at, and I did. And we were waiting on the other individual. So it was 3 of us in the car. And I immediately said, I got back seat, and I laughed and I was telling them, I said, how many times as kids were we wanting to sit up front just because we were up front? But I said, the older I have become, honey, that back seat is probably the most comfortable seat ever. Why? Because I can stretch out. I don't have to worry about driving. I can take in all the scenery and just look at the beautiful leaves changing colors, look at the beautiful whatever, right? And just be one, even with nature, or just one with myself. But because we worried about placement, whether it's pick number 1 or the last one picked, or sitting shotgun in the front row or in the front seat of a vehicle. As long as I'm in there, that's all that matters. And I wish, like, even as a teenager, that my mindset about being first or being chosen would have changed, because I don't think I would have waited as long as I've had to wait to do the work. Nobody had to wait on me. I had to wait on them. And me got tired of waiting on me.
Yeah, we're always the answer.
Yes.
The thought, the courage, or the initiation and decision to choose us
Hmm.
always comes from us.
It does. And it comes with a cost.
My
Yeah.
God, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going to lose some things that you thought you would have for forever. But you're also going to gain some things that you didn't know
Absolutely.
was available.
Absolutely.
Besides gaining confidence and clarity and courage, you're
Yes.
going to also gain people who are on the same pathway, who will be your accountability partners, who
Yes.
will give you push and encouragement to keep going,
Yes.
who's not there to drain you, but to pour into you.
Yes.
So I'm a firm believer that your cup should always be full, and it's not full from other people. It should be full from you. When other people pour into you, it should flow over so that you can pour into other people.
Absolutely.
So we give from overflow, not from the substance.
The substance, right? You better say it. And that is so true. So true. Man, that's good, Tammy.
Yeah, that's just how we are supposed to be, right? So when you say, I give myself permission to be me, my next question is, who are you?
Wow. Who am I? I'm fearless and unapologetically fearless. Been through a lot in my life, right? From the time I was a teenager up until just life, right? As a grown tax-paying individual, lives. But it's how I choose to navigate. So who am I? I am fearless. I'm unapologetic. I'm a team player. I'm a team builder. But I also work well by myself. Though I also know when I need to tap into that accountability or responsibility piece to help me to continue to build and or grow. And it depends on the season, because sometimes you have to grow before you build, and sometimes you got to build before you can grow. So if you build before you grow, you can go back when you are more mature in that space to understand why you had to build before you had to grow. And so learning who I am, knowing that my language has changed, right? My yes is my yes, my no is my no. And there's times that I still work on it. Right? I'm a grandmother. I have grandkids. So that in itself, Nana, can I have this? No. And then they'll pout like, okay, look, one more time. You can have it, just this one. So again, what am I teaching them, right? And I even think in that, though it's cute, oh, they're just so cute. Yeah, they are, but they also need to know boundaries as well, right? So the very first answer is fearless, and I'm not taking it back because I'm not going back to that place.
Absolutely.
I refuse to.
Yes, you do have to teach the kids. So
Yes.
we didn't learn it growing up.
No.
You don't want them to have to unlearn
No.
what you didn't teach.
That part. I remember telling my youngest son, and he's a new dad, and I told him, I said, we're in a season, especially in life, where we are unlearning learned behaviors. And it's not an indictment on anyone, but there are some things now as an adult mother, as an adult parent, I've had to unlearn, because I thought as a mom, I got the right to ask. No, technically I don't.
There are certain things, if you start talking about privacy and things of that nature for kids.
Yes.
I think when it comes to parenting, I literally wrote this book last year that is available. That's called The Self-Love Blueprint for Moms. And it is a guide to break the cycle of generational trauma.
Wow.
And this book really teaches moms that your self-love blueprint becomes the architectural blueprints of love for your children.
Yeah.
So when you don't have it, they don't have it. It has been statistically proven that happy children come from a happy mom. It doesn't say that happy children come from happy parents. It says happy children come from happy moms. And no shade to the dads, because y'all know I love y'all down. I do not play about good fathers.
Yes.
But having a happy mom teaches children more about their emotional happiness.
Yes.
And we have been teaching people to be so self-guarded and, not self-expressive and not understanding what their emotions are.
Yeah.
Men don't learn emotion. They don't typically express emotion outside of anger.
That they do not at all.
And so when we talk about being happy, when we talk about having the wherewithal and understanding of how to express emotion or the things that you need to learn. So being yourself, your whole self, permission to be me.
Yeah.
Unapologetically, that includes all of the emotions that come with it. It includes being able to understand who I am, how I show up, what's my capacity, what are my limits, and not be sorry or apologize for it. When I tell you no, it's no.
And it's okay. Yeah. And don't take offense to the no. Don't take offense to it. Don't think that I'm mad or I'm mean or she just don't want to be bothered. No. My no is my no. And it comes without an explanation as to why I gave you my no.
And we shouldn't have to unlearn everything.
No.
So I think that if we took the time now for kids to learn how to be them, how to be them unapologetically, how to own their own space, own their own emotions, be able to express them appropriately. Because in all things, you're supposed to get understanding and do things decently and in order.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Period. So I know you're a coach.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit how you provide your unapologetic self when coaching people to learn how to be their unapologetic self, because it's very hard for us to be something and not teach others to do the same.
Yes. And I love that question, because I think the one thing that we have to do is we have to share our story and our journey, because you can give them the tools all day long, but if they don't know how to use the tools, then it's going to be a problem. And so sharing my story with my clients, sharing my journey with them, and taking them on the journey with me, right? Because there comes a time, even in coaching, where you're both coaching each other. And so letting them know that, hey, I've been there, but let me show you how I overcame that by ... Let me show you what this looks like. Let me show you what this feels like. Let's talk about the feeling behind. There's a feeling behind being fearless, right? Because you have to leave that scared part behind in order to become fearless. Fear has always been, in some way, shape, or form, our comfort, because I don't let you see the real part of it. I don't let you see the real part of how I'm feeling. So it's easy for me to maybe, quote unquote, dummy myself down.
Shrink.
Be scared. Or as
We
we say,
shrink.
we had an animal play dead,
Yeah, you
They
shrink
sleep
real fast.
and shrink very, very fast. So yes, sharing my story, sharing my journey with them, and giving that disclosure that it's going to take some work. And if you're not ready for the work, guess what? I can't be mad. I have no space to be mad. But I want you to do the work for you, not because of some offer that's like, oh, yeah, I can't let this offer go. No, but are you ready to do the work? Because coaching requires work.
It does. I don't think we understand what work is, though. So when people say that phrase, we say it all the time. It requires work. Oh, it's hard work. It's work. It's work. What is work? Like, there needs to be a definition of understanding of what the word work actually entails.
Yes.
Because some people don't even understand work. They don't go to work. They don't do work. They ain't never did work. They didn't go to school to do no work. They just like work the word itself has no, and it has no relative comparison. It's nothing that I can relate it back to. What does it mean to do work? Oh, I was working on myself. What was you doing? Reading books? Listening to podcasts? How did that change you? What did you do to make the difference? Where did the transformation happen? And your aha, I can aha all day and do nothing about it. It is work is execution. It is not understanding.
That part. And it's even the open-ended questions that you have to ask yourself. But because we don't want to sit with ourselves, we're not even going to know what questions to even ask. So you're right. What is work? What does work look like? Because society, we have been incorporated to be lazy because everything is given to us. Everything is given to us.
Or you take it.
Or you take it, one of the two. There's not even an option anymore for letter C, other, and the other is the work, right? So the work is, yes, it's doing the work, it's reading the book, listening to the podcast, writing in the journal, but it's also believing that you can do the thing. If I don't have the belief I can do it, it's not going to get done. I can do it all day long. But if I'm not going to have the belief that I can be ... it's not going to get done. And it won't get done. And so then we become stagnant, we become lazy, then we procrastinate. So then you add all these other things that you thought that you graduated from, right? But little did you know they were there just waiting for you at the door, like, I knew you was coming back. Girl, you didn't go that far. It was cute. You were gone for 6 months, 180 days. We missed you. Welcome back. But now 180 days has now become 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. And being stuck.
Absolutely. We stay stuck a lot of times, but we are stuck because we, as you mentioned, don't have the belief that something different should be a part of the equation.
Yes.
I want to say thank you for joining me. This has been a great conversation. Bless you. It's been a great conversation. You are to be your own permission giver, as well as getting your permission from God or your creator, whoever you believe in, who's created you to be all that you can be. I honestly think it is a slap in the face when I think about it. Okay. So Jesus, okay, I hear you. So it's a slap in the face to not be your authentic self, to not be unapologetically you. And the reason I say that is you take anything that you create. If you go and you take something that you made, that you put your hard-earned sweat and tears in to create, you take it to a show to give everybody, to put it on display. And people come in and deface it. They come in and add to it. They come in and cover it up. How do you feel?
Oh, man. Angry.
So how does God feel when he created you the way he wanted to design you, and then you go and cover it up and deface it and make it invisible the way that he made you? So,
and if I can add, Tammy, not to cut you off, but when even in that moment, we were clearly saying, but I am fearfully and wonderfully made. But how can I keep saying that when I don't understand the making of what he made me to be? But I can tell you all day long, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I am created in his image.
But you're not walking in it. So you clearly don't appreciate it. So I just want to say to the people, be you. Period. Don't change who you are. Don't alter it. And when I say don't change who you are, I'm saying don't change the core substance of who you were made to be. If you are operating outside of who you were made to be, change that. Get in order, get in alignment, be you. But get to know you. Get to know yourself, that you are able to be you unapologetically.
Absolutely.
You cannot be the facade. You cannot be the fake person. You have to be the real, authentic, unapologetically you. Again, Melissa, thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people how they can reach you. She is a coach. If you would like her coaching services, she's going to tell you how you can find her.
Absolutely. So I am on all social media platforms. On Facebook, I am Melissa Morehead. Morehead is with one O. More is with twos. On Instagram and the top, I am the Fearless Woman. And you can also find me on Clubhouse as well. People still are using Clubhouse, and I'm the Fearless Woman as well. And Tammy, it has truly been a pleasure. Thank you so much just for the invitation and the conversation. Thank you. The organic conversation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys know what we do over here. You love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus. For all coaching services, go to coaching at IamTammyNicole.com. Don't forget to get the books. You have your Me, Myself, and Love journal out there. You have the Self-Love Blueprint for Moms out there. Go get it because you need it. Again, we'll see you next Tuesday. Have a good one.
That's a wrap on another episode of Loving Me Before I Love You. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to show your support by subscribing and leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Stay connected with Tammy. Make sure you're following her on Instagram and TikTok at Coach Tammy Nicole. If you like to work with Tammy or have any questions you'd like her to answer, please head over to www.IamTammyNicole.com. Until next time, always remember to love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus.